While the meaning of 2019's Vivarium movie is somewhat elusive, an examination of the overall plot and ending does shed considerable light on what director Lorcan Finnegan's film is actually about. The sci-fi film Vivarium, starring Jesse Eisenberg and Imogen Poots, focuses on the hellish suburbia that is the inescapable town of Yonder as the young couple is forced to raise an alien offspring. Lorcan Finnegan's sci-fi thriller tells the story of a young couple trapped in a frightfully uniform suburban neighborhood that quickly reveals itself to be a nightmare. The Vivarium movie centers on gardener Tom, Jesse Eisenberg, and kindergarten teacher Gemma, Imogen Poots, a happily unmarried couple who are looking to become homeowners. This leads them to visit a deeply strange estate agent named Martin, Jonathan Aris, who makes lavish promises of the beauty and perfection of a newly built development named Yonder and coaxes them into taking a tour of the Stepford Wives-type community. In addition to Vivarium's high Rotten Tomatoes score garnered by the deeper Vivarium movie meaning, Stephen King, the renowned horror author, has also expressed his love for the movie. What happens to Tom and Gemma in Vivarium? They are forced to look after an alien child they don't want. Vivarium's Yonder is comprised of endless rows of wholly identical homes and roads that always lead back to the same place. Martin leaves Tom and Gemma at house number 9, and the two try to leave but end up going around in circles, which forces them to stay in the Yonder home. Since their attempts to leave end in continual failure, Tom tries to burn down the house out of frustration. The next morning, it's still there, seemingly rebuilt overnight, and now there's a box with a baby boy waiting for them. Attached is a note, which is integral to the Vivarium movie meaning. In the suburban satire Vivarium, Yonder's nameless offspring, Senan Jennings, rapidly grows in size and has an eerie adult-like voice that perfectly mimics both Tom and Gemma. Jesse Eisenberg's character spurns any attempt at fathering the child, while Imogen Poots' Gemma is worn down into a drudging facsimile of motherhood. The boy screams until he is fed, he refuses to leave Tom and Gemma alone, and he copies their every move. Tom becomes obsessed with their escape and begins digging a hole in their yard, while Gemma attempts to care for the child while maintaining some autonomy in the situation, further adding layers to the Vivarium movie meaning. What happens in Vivarium's ending? The boy kills Gemma and Tom before taking over Martin's role. Vivarium ending scene with the boy crawling through the halls. Inspired by Village of the Damned, in Vivarium, the boy vanishes from Yonder and returns with a book full of symbols. In an attempt to find an escape, Gemma plays a game with the boy to get him to reveal where he's been, only for him to begin mutating into a monster. The boy suddenly grows into a full-blown adult. Tom still digs his hole from morning until night, and eventually, the boy locks his parents out of the house. He starts disappearing every day and Gemma's attempts to follow him prove fruitless. Eventually, Tom's hole yields a discovery of a corpse in a body bag, adding a level of horror to the Vivarium movie meaning. His own health rapidly worsens, and he eventually dies in the Black Christmas actress' arms. At that moment, having said that it's time for him to be released, the boy returns to them with a body bag. Shocked and disgusted, Gemma becomes furious enough to attack him with a pickaxe, but he escapes by pulling up the pavement like a rug and sliding into an Escher-esque underground. Gemma follows and discovers that Vivarium's Yonder is full of endless parallel worlds where couples like her and Tom are stuck in identical situations. At this point, it's clear Vivarium's alien invasion takes young couples captive as specimens in a deeply horrific experiment. Every single one of them is miserable, some even to the point of suicide. It's this stark imagery that promotes the Vivarium movie meaning, as Gemma has lost all autonomy and finds that she and Jesse Eisenberg's character are not the only victims of this horrific place. Gemma is spat back into her world and dies at the hand of the boy after being vacuum-packed in a body bag. He dumps their bodies in the hole that Tom dug, then leaves Yonder to return to the real estate office. There, Martin is old and on the verge of death, though only a year has passed. He passes on his name badge to the boy and then dies, leaving the new Martin to take his place. A couple walks into the real estate office, and the cycle begins again. Imogen Poots explained in an interview with Collider.